Hi, my name is Chewy from Lakewood, California. I'm 25 years old, and I'm a single dad. Kayla Marie Torres was born March 23rd, 2012. 8 months prior to that, I had no recollection that I was even becoming a father. Basically, I met her mom the first night, and it was kind of just a hit off. We were having a few drinks. Next thing you know, one thing led to another. And I'm getting a message 8 months after that saying, this child could possibly be yours. First thing, I didn't even know what to do. I couldn't tell you how I felt. It was totally just shocked, because nothing like this I ever saw myself ever happening. And I didn't have anybody to go to. Couldn't really approach my parents about it right away, and that was that. But once I saw pictures and ended up taking a paternity test, I just fell in love with her. Ever since the first time I saw her, she looked exactly like me, with the big poofy hair and just those eyes that I had when I was a baby. Like she said, just had the exact same look, and just totally shocked. So basically, what made me want to stay around is you grew up in a society where most dads don't even stick around to see their child growing up, and I was never brought up like that. I had both my parents, giving me the love and support to make me the person I am today, and I could never see myself knowing the fact that me being a dad and not being able to stay around and see Kaylin grow up and missing all the things from her first tooth, her first words, her first walking. I just wanted to be a part of everything. I've always been around family, and I've always had family support. It's something that I can never ever see myself kind of just step away from. Although it's been really hard being a single dad, my family they've been supporting me ever since day one. After the paternity test, I knew the first person I had to tell was my mom, and the hardest thing is being able to say, hey mom, I'm about to have a kid, to, hey mom, here's the kid, and that was the hardest time, especially her. Remember the first thing she ever told me was that was, I always wanted you, she always wanted to be a grandma, and I've always saw myself, but being able to come about her like that and tell her, it just was probably the hardest part, was having to disappoint her and not being able to go about all that preparation that you do for the child. But bless my mom and my dad, they've been there since day one, and I couldn't have a better support system than I would. If it wasn't for them, I don't think I could handle raising Kaylin all by myself. So the struggle of having to balance out enjoyment of life and the sacrifices that I have to provide for Kaylin has been probably one of the hardest struggles that I've gone through. There has been times where I've gone out, and in the back of my mind it's maybe I shouldn't be spending this money on alcohol and booze and getting messed up and hammered. Maybe this should be for Kaylin and having to provide food and diapers. And I think being young and single is probably one of the hardest things to go through, and especially being single, is just because you still want to enjoy life and you still want to have all this fun, but it's you can't do that anymore. And that right there is probably one of the hardest struggling things of being a parent, a single parent. Me and the relationship with the mother has been a struggle at first, and we wanted to try to work things out, but some things don't always end up the way you want it to. But I give her 100% credit. She's helped so much throughout, and us still building a family, even though we're not together, we've been giving 100% each. We split Kaylin 50-50, and it's been a struggle, even though I miss some of the things, but we work together, and we always try to help each other out, even if we're both struggling at times. When it's if she needs help, I'll give her some whatever she needs. And I love her for that sense, and I appreciate everything that she's done for her mom. I couldn't ask for anything better than that. Any advice I would give out to any parent, expecting parent, single mom, single dad, is probably just enjoy the time that you have, because nothing's greater than watching your child grow up and having them take their first crawls and seeing them, take their first fall, and just having that love is it's undescribable, and it's probably one of the greatest things that I've had to enjoy life. Anything else before that just doesn't compare to being a parent and seeing your own blood grow up, and the future You know, you take each day at a time, but I mean, my future's already set just by being with Kaylin and watching her grow up. And there's so much more that I know that has to be about, but I'm excited for everything to happen.